2026 at 5:01 p.m. In attendance, we have Supervisors Miller, Shakur, Spencer, and myself. Via the web, we have Supervisor Caprillion and Supervisor Nielsen, and excused is Supervisor Wish. I have Youth and Governance attendance tonight in full. We have Rivera and Skipper. And I have two new Youth and Governance representatives, Andrew Schuler, who is from Lutheran High School, and we have Millie Zagula from Horlick High School, both entering the 2026 to the 2027 Youth and Governance program. Welcome. My comments this evening evolve around sports. 2 weeks ago, I made a statement on who my two favorite teams to reach the Final Four would be. And I said 2 weeks ago, my two favorite teams would be Michigan, because that's the state of my birth, and Illinois. Well, guess what? Michigan and Illinois are in the Final Four. Go back to the tapes and read the tapes because, yes, they're there. So we'll see. We'll see. Either or, I'd be happy. Next up, public comment. Is there anyone here for public comment? Seeing none, hearing none, I'm going to move on to the, excuse me. Oh, youth and governance statement. Oh, I'm sorry.
Hello, we are members of the Racine County Youth and Governance Program, and we will be participating in tonight's meeting. This program serves to empower youth in Racine County by encouraging us to participate in local government. We have agreed to abide by the applicable standards of conduct that would govern any elected county board member. While we are encouraged to participate and are allowed to have a non-binding advisory vote on matters before the committee, all formal action taken by this committee will be based solely on the binding votes made by county board supervisors.
Thank you, Valeria. Appreciate it. Okay. Next up, I have the request for approval of the minutes from March 24th, 2026.
Move to approve.
I have a first and a second. Any discussion or changes to the minutes? Hearing none. Youth and Governance, all in favor? Committee, all in favor? Any nays? Hearing none. The minutes of August 24th, 2026 are approved. Next up, number 5 on my agenda is Browns Lake Dredging Project. I have Mr. Claude Loyce here to give us an update of the Browns Lake Dredging Project. Claude currently serves as the president of the Browns Lake Sanitary District. Good evening, Claude Loyce.
If I could, Chairman, just before Claude
Yes.
starts, this came from the previous meeting where Supervisor Horth's group was presenting their item. And I think it was Supervisor Wish had asked if there was an update to the project. So I reached out to Claude. The MOU for the grant did require an annual report. So we just sent that report over to the county executive, and he thought that it would be good for this to be an agenda item for the committee. And then Claude was so gracious to join us, so he'll be able to speak more.
All right, Paul.
Great.
Thank you for sending me the email.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for attending and being here.
All right.
If you could hit the button,
Yes, sir.
Claude.
Bring it real close.
Yep.
Right side. Right side. There we go. Thank you. Again, thank you again for having us. And thank you again for supporting us with the Browns Lake Sanitary District and our dredging project we have at Browns Lake. So I just handed out the map that we have there. It's changed a couple of different times, but this is the latest and the greatest. We are, did everyone get my message or my update? So again, we're actually about halfway through. They took out about 170 some to 80,000 cubic yards of sediment out of Browns Lake to our pond, and went really well. Just, I mean, a couple of minor hiccups, you know, with the machine, the pump, but overall went really, really well. And again, we're on schedule. Actually, they're on schedule to show up here April. It'll take them probably a couple of weeks to get everything back in the water. They have to pull a bunch of the pipe out, because otherwise if they don't, the pipe is black or dark. So when sun shines, they've had it where it's melted to ice. So we've had them pull it out so that it doesn't have any issue for the fishermen during the winter time. So they have a bunch of pipe to put back in. And obviously bring their pump back, because and our contract was with Dredge America. This is all they do, all over the world, okay? So when they were done here in October, they went 3 different locations. We have, at a minimum, 6 folks are here from Dredge America every day. We are pumping 7 days a week, roughly 12-hour days. And they are, I mean, once they get on it in the machine, I should have brought a picture of the machine. I'm happy to give anybody a tour in a month or so for sure. They'll be up and running. But it's a pretty interesting machine. It is not small by any stretch of the imagination. It has to be unloaded by a very big crane to put it in the water. Because obviously it has no, which I mean, I didn't realize either, but it has no motor on it except for sucking. So literally, what they do with this thing, then they have anchors in the water. Have an anchor on this side and an anchor on this side, and this dredge machine moves 165 feet each way, and that's how they dredge. And they go for a certain area down 2 feet, then they'll drop it 2 feet, keep on going, and go down to 7 feet. So what I want to show you next, and I'm sorry, I did not bring enough copies. I apologize. But here's, now maybe let's just hold this one up. So this is split safety. Friend of ours had a little fighter. Up in the sky. So if you look at it, here's the data that I have. Bolts don't stir up the sediment anymore when they're in that bay and move it around. And you can kind of see where they stopped here in this bay and that what we call the waterfront bay. So they'll start back up here in April and continue to go there. I apologize. This is our sediment pond. This is a 40-acre pond. Now it's called pond. Again, the water comes in here from there on a 16-inch pipe, and it is full. It's not a halfway full pipe of water, pumping water. It is a full 16-inch pipe that brings the sediment to the pond. It comes in right about here, and then it filters through. It's designed to do this, so there's different layers to this pond. And by the time it gets down to here, there's a gate into a certain height that'll go then into what they call the polishing. So once it goes into the polishing pond on the bottom, and we have enough height in there, we pump it back. There's a 14-inch pipe, the water back. So it's pretty interesting, I mean, I've never obviously done this before or seen this before, but it's really pretty interesting to watch this process. And again, I would entertain any of you, if you'd like to see it, I'd gladly give you a tour and take you on the dredge machine. We'll just have to bring some earmuffs because it is a little loud. But again, thank you for everything is on schedule. We plan on being completed this year. As the document showed, by the end of September, into August, September, we should be done. And again, I mean, I'm happy to answer any questions. Again, we appreciate all your support.
Thank you, Claude. Questions, comments from the committee? Supervisor Miller.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So Claude, are the costs tracking with your original projection?
Thank you. Great. So our original projection was right around 10 million. We came in at 8.9. Again, you guys did the 1.1 million. Town of Burlington did 2.5 million. The rest of it was coming from the neighbors or from the lake owners. And we had that, we did a special assessment for the lake owners. It was broken into 4 different categories, depending upon if it's a house on the lake, actually on the water. Their assessment was $1,000 a year for 20 years. If you had a condo on the lake, it was $250. If you were in Hell's Point and you were on the water, they were $350. And then we have the peninsula, which is also a condo, but they're on the water, but they're condos, so they pay $500. So we broke it all down. That special assessment went out. We got 0 complaints from anybody. Right. Then again, we were fortunate. Speaker Voss, if you saw last year, and I mean, I had several luncheons and coffee with Robin and said, hey, we'd still really love some support from the state. So we were fortunate enough and Robin got us a grant for 5 million. So now instead of 20-year payoff, it'll be much less. Right now, and again, my estimate is between 8 and 10 years, we should be paid off and done.
You got 2.5 from the town?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, and 1 from the county and the balance from the property owners.
Correct. And the sanitary district, yes.
And the sanitary
Yep,
district.
yep.
Okay, cool. Cool.
Basically, as the plan was that we started originally, so nothing really changed other than the price came down a little bit. And again, we were fortunate, Dredge America, obviously, to hire the local contractor, Wanasat Corporation is the one that dug the pond and kind of maintains the pond for us. So yeah, nice, great local contract as well.
Questions from the committee? Questions from any supervisors, Caprillion or Nielsen? Youth and
Done, thank
governance? Oh, okay. Thank you so much for your update. We greatly appreciate it and we're very happy with the success of the operation. And keep us abreast of it, please.
Yeah, and again, if anybody would love.
Supervisors in the crowd.
Oh,
Kramer and-
Chairman Kramer, I'm sorry. Any comments? Supervisor Rossi? Nope. Good deal. Thank you.
Again, I'd open it up for anybody who wants a tour. Just give me a couple of days notice and I would rather here. You can have, I don't know if you want me to copy these.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Claude. I'm just going to do a little of adjustment of the agenda here. Number 6, I'm just going to jump to number 7. Human Resources, Sarah Street, authorized changes to the Public Works and Development Services exempt salary schedule effective April 18th, 2026, and use of sufficient funds within Public Works and Development Services, requesting action first and second reading at the April 14th, 2026 County Board meeting. I have Sarah here who's going to make some comments. Then I have Director Raleigh Boehm here to follow up.
Yes, good evening, Chairman and committee members. So last week at the county board meeting, we heard from the salary study consultant with McGrath, and she mentioned that we may occasionally have what she called blips on the radar. And I would categorize what you see in front of you today, a blip in the radar. We have one position that is listed here that has been vacant for, I believe, almost 2 years. We have been continuously trying to recruit for this position without success. It is being viewed. There are a number of hits. Last year, there were over 9,000 hits on the job posting, but people are not applying. And a large part of that is because we are directly competing with the private sector. And I will let Raleigh speak on that further. The other position there that is going to be vacating soon is the engineering manager position. So that position was previously filled by an employee, and we have in a short amount of time gone through a few people in that position, and the same thing keeps occurring, that they are being poached by the private sector. So what we've determined after a meeting with the county executive is that if that is our competition, is the private sector, then we need to increase these wages and also add a sign-on bonus. So I can turn it over to Raleigh to go into any more details that you want to provide, Raleigh.
Sure, and Sarah did a real good job summing it up. That's the reason why we're here today. As of after tomorrow, our engineering department's at half staff. A lot of these responsibilities that they have, they put out the LRIP to the community. So they're the ones who are reviewing the LRIP, the design before it goes to the DOT. They're the ones who send the checks out to these municipalities for that reimbursement. And it's that alone is almost a half-time job. And that's what Chris does, minus the whole project management, minus the whole permits, minus the, as far as our design that we're going to be doing in-house, managing a staff. So this is This has been a position, the engineering manager, and in my time here, this will be our 6th engineering manager in 10 years. And this is just, like Sarah said, we're competing directly with the private sector. And so that's where all but one went to, and that one was me. I stayed here. Is where I just moved up over here. But so it makes it very difficult for us, and it's this isn't just Racine County. It's the public sector in general that has been struggling a little bit to get engineers the past few years. Basically, since COVID has happened, it just seemed like all of a sudden a lot of that BIL money came available for the municipalities. So then with that, what do the municipalities usually do? They outsource a lot of their engineering. So the private sector really just started gobbling everyone up, and that's where they're going to right now. So.
Questions from the committee, comments? Supervisor Miller?
So I remember the brief discussion about the blips, but during the process of the salary study, was this 2-year vacancy flagged?
So I do believe, I don't remember the department specific meeting that we had, but at that time we had the engineering manager secured. So it was less of a concern. I think this really elevated to a higher level once we got this most recent separation notice, that it really became urgent. So that did take place very recently, that we had the meeting with the county executive. So I think that we were hoping that with the implementation of the salary study, we would be able to fill the other position, but now coupled with this most recent resignation, we need to address it sooner and more drastically.
So I was trying to match what we had in the, what we just approved. So we are moving 2 of these up. Is it about the same as what we would have done in September? We're just doing it earlier?
It is higher actually than what, so this would place the engineering manager in the same pay grade as several of our directors throughout the county.
What about the other 2 positions though, the civil engineer and the assistant engineering manager?
I believe we're increasing both of those as well.
Even beyond the midpoint of what we just approved?
And what we're doing here is recommending that we incorporate the new pay grades. So it's going to be a different structure. So the current pay grades that you see, we're going to, just because we will be implementing all new pay grades, we thought we might as well do that for these positions sooner than later.
Yeah.
But so I'm not sure if you want to know.
So if we did nothing, what would have happened to these 3 positions in September?
Give me one moment. I can pull that up for you.
Like, approximately.
I mean, they would increase, but we're recommending, so each pay grade is about a 7% difference. So I believe they would have been about 7% less than what we're recommending here.
Okay.
And should we have to go between now and the time you hire, we find the candidate, should this be approved? And specifically, if we go outside to the, to use the outside resources for jobs we need done by the county.
Oh, if we
And
go
we
for
hire-
consultant services?
Yes. How
We're-
much more of a cost is that?
Oh, it's quite a bit. You're excess of $250 an hour on some of those, some even higher than that. And actually with this, we're already setting a contract up right now to keep our engineering manager who's leaving us, to put him on a retainer, because we can't be without that position right now. So we're going to be using that person so we can keep doing this LRIP, doing a lot of the project management until we find someone.
So it's approximately $200 to $250 more per hour on the outside than it is inside?
No,
About?
the total cost is around $250 an hour.
Holy Christmas.
So it's,
Okay. Not more, but $250 an hour.
correct.
Okay. Director Street.
Yes, so I had an opportunity to look at the study, and so I misspoke. So the recommendation for the civil engineer and the senior civil engineer is the same. And we are increasing the recommendation for the engineering manager by 7%. And that's for the mid, and max.
Okay.
And that was after speaking with Raleigh, and he was talking about how the current poaching situation is going.
Supervisor Miller?
So thank you, Mr. Chairman. So just to follow up, and there was also talk about a hiring bonus, and I'm not sure how that fits in with this.
So this is a practice that we've utilized when we had Ridgewood, and we were really having a similar situation finding nurses, and also recently with our behavioral health positions, and something that other counties are utilizing for engineering positions. And I think Raleigh also mentioned that in the private sector, they're also using hiring
No,
bonuses.
I understand the concept and the need, but where does it show up in the numbers?
Yeah, the dollar amount, I believe.
So Raleigh, please correct me if I'm wrong, but I think you were recommending a $5,000 sign-on bonus for these positions.
Correct, $5,000, and I thought it was for the engineering managers, a $10,000 sign-on bonus, up to.
And Gwen has verified that there are sufficient funds for that. And I think we could structure it a number of different ways. So that part is upfront, and then part is upon successful completion of a year of employment or 2 years of employment.
And that, yeah, I'm I'm not making myself clear. I'm trying to figure out, it says sufficient funds, but where are those sufficient funds coming from?
Yeah, in the
That's my
fiscal.
question.
Excuse me?
Just.
It's under wages when.
It's under
this
wa-
department?
Yeah, it would be under the engineering department's wages if that bonus were paid to those employees. It's a taxable wage payment made to them. So for us, it's coded under wages.
So is it in the fiscal note then that's attached here or not?
So the fiscal note is showing that there are sufficient funds for the salary change, for the sign-on bonus. We can revise the fiscal note to just call it out more clearly if that would be helpful for you
Well,
guys.
I know we're gonna get questions
Yeah.
when it
yeah,
comes to the county board.
Absolutely.
Like, where's the money? Show me the money. That's what some
Yeah.
of our colleagues are gonna say.
Yep, so it'll be in the Public Works Department budget for the engineering division, and that org is 660120. So within their personnel budget, they have sufficient funds in there.
So I can just channel one of my colleagues who on the floor is gonna say, so this was in the budget, approved.
It is in the budget.
Okay,
Okay,
thank you.
just want to get us ready for the final vote. Thank you.
Can I ask a question?
Supervisor Spencer?
Thank you. So did our current manager agree to stay on for a little bit?
No, as a consultant, he's still going to the company that he's going to. We
So
can,
he's moving to something that pays more.
correct.
And so he will be a consultant?
We will be hiring him as a consultant just because we need that department can't be at half staff. So that was the best way to remedy it is to hire him on as a consultant. So he'll be working on the outside now, not as a county employee anymore, but as almost not even a contracted staff, really, just as a consultant or professional services is what it will be.
So we're paying him for his consulting?
Correct.
Yeah, these sign-on bonuses make me nervous. I generally don't like them. I understand them, but I feel it's a slippery slope. I understand that we need to be competitive. And did he give you a deadline for like, I'll be a consultant up till?
Well, his company would probably forever if you let him have it that way. But we only want to use them until we can fill those positions and then get those people trained inside there. We're in a very unfortunate situation. We don't have, in the previous times, we've had people in place to fill that next manager role. When Nathan left, you had me. When I left, you had Alex. And Alex left, we hired someone from the outside. When that person left, we had Chris. We don't have someone who can fill that manager role right now. Two very good employees inside the department, but they don't have the credentials for the manager.
Supervisor Miller?
Yeah, and the reason for first and second is just to expedite this for hiring.
Yes, and with the board changing over, we need to structure it like this, otherwise there would be further delays. And I share your concern with the sign-on bonuses, Supervisor Spencer, but I also am concerned that we're gonna end up paying a lot more if we're not able to fill these vacancies.
Chairman, I would move that we send this to the county board for first and second reading, April 14th.
I have a first and a second from Supervisor Shakur. Supervisor Nielsen, Supervisor Caprillion, do you have any questions?
I do not.
No, thank you.
Okay, any questions from the supervisors on the floor? Chairman Kramer,
I just want to make one comment.
if you could come up, Chairman. Thank you.
If I could make just one comment, I believe we're paying the company that the employee is going to, not the employee directly. Am I, yeah, so, yeah, so we're contracting just like Mount Pleasant did with Claude Lace. As a consultant working, he's going to be working for that company and he's be doing our jobs. The other thing is we got in kind of a mess here when we signed on Foxconn, and then you got Microsoft going on in two different areas. There's a lot of civil engineering that goes into those kinds of places. So just a little sidebar, when Foxconn got rolling, we had a 2-week window that we'd send it over to our engineer, which we hire out as Rupert Milky. And we had to expand that out to 4 weeks before we could get it back because the engineers were so busy doing all the civil, again, with the BIL money also. And I can attest, the town, when we put out design a road, and we don't design roads like the county does, but to put that out on a BIL, it'll cost anywhere between $60,000 and $100,000 just for the engineering on it. Depending upon which, how much you have to change and what you're doing with, so. While I don't like paying people more money, this is a very necessary need. And or spending more money, but without an engineer, we've all heard people talk about how much we need to do in paving.
In what?
In paving, and road repair. Well, this is where it starts. If we don't have an engineer to design the road, we have to go outside, it costs more. If we don't, if we can bring some of that in-house, it's cheaper to do it. And it's just the inspections and all that type of stuff that goes on throughout a project that an engineer would do, will pay for itself. So thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Chairman Kramer. Supervisor Shakur?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. What does VIL, what's that acronym?
I-
What does that stand for?
Bipartisan infrastructure bill that came through with, when President Biden was president. So they influxed a lot of money through the states to the local. I know the town of Norway got about $1.9 million for a road project and a bridge that we're going to be doing next year. So that's where all the civil engineer working is going, so with that increased money across the state, that puts pressure on the engineers. And I can tell you that when you go to an engineering firm's office, like my engineer, they've got a weight machine, they've got an exercise machine, they've got a place where they can relax, and it's very much different than working in the public sector, with the benefits that they get that are the soft benefits, not, and also the cash. So,
So what does VIL
huh?
stand for?
BIL,
Okay,
bipartisan.
okay. I had VI, okay. Okay, that's wrong with it. Okay, BIL. Thank you.
Supervisor Spencer?
Thank you. So you're asking for first and second reading. Tell me again why.
With the board election, there's going to be a gap in the meeting, so we're trying to get it in before the board potentially
So-
changes.
So whatever pending action of this current county board has to be completed at our next meeting. The following meeting will be, even though it's almost everybody's back, it'll be a whole new legislative year. And you'd
Gotcha.
have to start over. So
Gotcha.
this wouldn't get approved possibly till May.
Okay, so my thought is, what if it fails? What do you do? Because our current board is, I know is
Then
going to
we
be,
keep doing what are planning on doing until we hopefully find someone. We keep using consultant services. You know, we don't have a choice. We have to keep everything running. So that the plan is we would just keep going to status quo, keep using consultant services, use the staff that we have. Hopefully we don't lose any other staff during the process. I haven't had inclinations that we might, but I didn't know this one was going to leave. So
Mhm. Understand, thanks.
Thank you. Last comments? Supervisor Kaur? Yeah, no,
I'm good.
okay. Okay, I have a first and a second. Youth and governance, all in favor? Committee, all in favor?
Aye.
Are there
Aye.
any nays? Hearing none, this will go to the county board for first and second reading on April 14th, 2026. Thank you, Director Raleigh Bain. Next up, I have a transfer of human services. Authorize the acceptance of United Way grant in the amount of $20,000 and the transfer of funds within the Human Service Department, requesting action of first and second reading, April 14th, 2026. Comments? You here to make comments?
There's no one here from
No.
public or from Human Services.
Okay.
So I'm
I,
take one for the team.
I can speak to it.
Go ahead,
Yeah,
yes.
thanks. So as we know, there has been some funding challenges in the Meals on Wheels to the point where we have developed a very brief waiting list, which I think everybody who needs Meals on Wheels is getting them now. But we have solicited funds from the public, and we are very fortunate to receive this grant from the United Way, which will assist in this funding pinch for the Meals on Wheels program. And again, first and second, because this county board is coming to an end, and we want to get this implemented so we can serve more of our elderly for the meal program.
Thank you, Supervisor Miller, and I want to thank the staff for reaching out and bringing this to the attention of United Way. And I want to thank United Way for their leadership and stepping up and granting the $20,000 grant. Let us remember that the shortage of money coming through is due to the federal government and state government not having adequate funds to support this program. So did I hear a first and a second?
I will move to send this to the county board for first and second reading, April 14th.
I have a first and a second from Supervisor Spencer. Any additional discussion? Hearing none. Youth and governance? Committee, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Are there any nays? Hearing none, this will go to the county board for first and second reading, April 14th, 2026.
If I could just add to that, we heard this morning that we got another $100,000 grant for this program as well from the Greater Wisconsin Association of Aging Guar. So that'll be coming to this committee once the election is over, but we just heard this morning.
Nice. Did you say?
100,000.
100,000?
That's fantastic, because that should cover any shortfalls for the rest of the year. Yeah.
That is great.
Wonderful.
Looking forward to seeing that come through. Thank you very
I was
much.
just thinking about how I could rearrange things so that I could make a donation, but
Make 100 grand. Okay, number 8, Gwen Zimmer, Racine County Sales and Use Tax Update Report 2026.
Thank you, Chairman. Per the ordinance, I need a report monthly on the sales tax earned. We received 1.6 million in the last month, so we're at 5.6 million for the year total. Remember, the first 2 months were for 2025 service dates, so those ones were booked back. We ended the year in 2025 at 17 million, where we had budgeted 15 million. I'm using some different analysis tools, working with Travis's team on this. I do estimate that will be probably around 23 million this year. So far, we're tracking about 500,000 more than we thought we were going to get at this point in the year. So we'll keep you updated on where we're at with it. And just a reminder, all that excess funds go into contingent, and we have a reserve policy where we want to keep at least 5% of the prior year's sales tax revenue into reserves, just as a safety net in case the economy dips, that kind of stuff.
Good, good, great report. Could this, I'm requesting that this be forwarded to the county board, number 8. And I want to backtrack. I want to make sure that item number 5 is also forwarded to the county board, please. Okay, number 8, communication. I need a motion.
Number 9.
Excuse me, number 9.
I will
Yes.
move to receive and file those items.
I have a second from Supervisor Shakur. Youth and Governance, all in favor? Committee, all in favor?
Aye.
Are there any? Report. Finance and Human Resource Committee meeting next is May 6th at 5 p.m. But before we adjourn, I want to read in the newspaper, I'm just going to repeat this. Racine County is recognized for their financial reporting. This was in the Racine Journal-Times. Racine County has received the Certificate of Achievement for Excellence in Financial Reporting for the 2024 Annual Comprehensive Financial Report for the 17th consecutive year. The award is presented by the Government Finance Officers Association and is the highest form of recognition in the governmental accounting and financial reporting. GFOA recognizes local governments whose financial reports demonstrate transparency, full disclosure, and adhere to the highest standards in the public sector financial reporting, according to the county. Additional, Racine County's Finance Department received the Annual of Financial Reporting Achievement, recognizing the team directly responsible for producing the report. More information to review Racine County's Annual Comprehensive Financial Report can be found on the county's website. I need a motion to adjourn. We are now
Congratulations.
adjourned. Congratulations to our finance department.